Business isn't, up and running yet. Okay, you're thinking about your business. You're researching. You're looking. You're doing something that will add fruit to the end of the year. And so, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, oldie but goodie. You got to get it. Dave Ramsey, awesome man. EntreLeadership is an amazing book, teaching you how to be an EntreLeader. Teaching you entrepreneurship skills, but also what it means to be a leader in your generation or even in your organization. A couple of more things. Anointed for Business by Ed Silvoso. This is a very good book because it tells us about what we're doing here at Abundant Living Family Church, merging the two, the business and ministry together. That many times, so long, it's been either business or ministry. If I want to do great things for the world, I go in business. And I keep business over here and I keep God over there. If I want to do great things for God, I go into ministry and I don't talk about business. I'm supposed to take a vow of poverty. I'm not supposed to be able to pay my bills. I'm supposed to be begging and pleading and asking. Not so. That's not the mindset of the kingdom. And so it talks about having an anointing for business that now merges your priestly and your kingly anointing. That there is a anointing that comes on you, especially when you're a person of God, when you're a man or a woman of God. Whenever you walk into the boardroom, you're not necessarily just walking in as this is my education. No, I have education, or I have experience, I have perspective, but also I have the greater one who lives on the inside of me, and greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
That's right.
And so it's taking this gospel outside of the 4 walls of the church and us actually really being the church and being the light, being the one that has the solutions, because the word tells us that God will make us even wiser than our instructors. So that means that the world and your workplace should be coming to you because you should be wiser than your instructors. There should be a light about you whenever you walk into the boardroom, whenever you walk into the staff meeting. You should be coming up with ideas. Whenever it comes to your business, you should be the top ranking person, because why? Why not? You have God living on the inside of you. And so that's that. Now, you tapped a little bit of my passion right there. Okay. I need to stay on task so I can give you all this great information. Last two, this author has just become one that I just have fallen in love with. Jon Acuff. He wrote 2 books. One is Quitter, and it talks about closing the gap between your day job and your dream job, right? Very, very good book. Tells you really how to have a great perspective when it comes to bridging the gap that maybe those of us is called quitter. Jon Acuff, Jonacuff. Bridging the gap between what you're doing and what you were created to do. Because how many of you know that, those of you who have jobs, you know that, okay, I'm not made for this. I mean, I'm not made to work for anybody, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Like, you come up with ideas like at breakfast, and so it's like, oh man, that. I mean, God just blesses you with ideas. And so he tells you how to have perspective and how to literally bridge the gap so that you're not stepping out prematurely. Because we know in our society, prematurity, let's think about a premature baby. It needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more focus, and there's a higher risk. So stepping out prematurely, you have to know the times and the seasons. That's what the word says. For everything, there is a time, there is a season. So you got to know your season. Everybody say, know your season.
Know your season.
You got to know your season. And then this one right here, this book right here will change and transform your life. This is called Start. This is by Jon Acuff. Punch Fear in the Face. I love that. He has like 4 different titles. Punch Fear in the Face, Escape Average, Do Work That Matters, Start. From average to awesome. And what he talks about in this is that every successful person that has built anything has went through 5 different phases. Number 1 is the phase of learning. You're learning about your business. You're learning what it takes to run a business. You're learning about your industry. Maybe you got a spark of an idea or a vision, and now you're learning about it. Like, for instance, whenever God gave me the idea to start my first independent company from my father's company. It was a valet trash service. I thought about it. It came from an idea and actually a frustration, because I lived on the 3rd floor when me and my wife first got married in 2008. We lived on the 3rd floor of our apartment, and I mean, I had to take out the trash like every day. I hated taking out and I lived on the 3rd floor, and I'm like, I have to run down like rain, sleet, or snow to run down the stairs and actually go and I take out the trash. I hated doing that. And I said, you know what? I hate this. There's nothing new under the sun. There's probably somebody else that hates doing this. I'm going to start a business. Put a little business plan together real quick, started researching all I could about valet trash service. Come to find out, valet trash service is the #1 voted amenity among residents in all of the nation. Wow. Come to find out that there are other companies that were doing it, but none were doing it in my vicinity. And so I said, okay, I need to have some business experience. I put a business plan together. I started doing some research. I started calling. I took some of the perspective that I had from when I started businesses in college and all of those different things, and I just formulated, and just through the Spirit of God just gave me a great plan of action. And I actually ended up in my first 6 months of starting the business and getting the idea of actually securing a contract that literally allowed me to replace my wife's income, her entire yearly salary.